Hello, this lesson is going to be on converting customary units of capacity. You might be wondering what capacity means. Basically, capacity is the amount of liquid something can hold. So basically, we're dealing with the amount of liquid that certain objects can hold today. Uh, Capacity is basically how much something can hold, as we just said, and we have different types of capacities in the United States. For example, we have fluid ounces, we have cups, pints, quarts, and gallons. And some of these might be more familiar to you. We usually use things like cups a lot in the United States, and gallons a lot, and ounces a lot. We rarely ever think about pints and quarts, but we'll talk about those today. Remember, these are the measurements we use in the United States. Other countries use the metric system. To make sure we understand roughly the sizes of these things, I put some stuff on our slide here that helps us understand how much an ounce actually is. For example, a venti coffee from Starbucks is about 20 fluid ounces. And if you forget the names like I do, a venti coffee is one of the largest coffees at Starbucks. And actually, venti means 20, so it's kind of neat. Next up, we have a standard coffee mug. So all the coffee mugs that you usually see hold almost 2 cups of coffee. So when someone says they had 2 cups of coffee a day, they actually probably had four because they probably mean 2 coffee mugs. Ben and Jerry's ice cream, those little containers of ice cream, those hold about 1 pint each. A normal ice cream container that you'd use to feed your family with, those are about 1.5 quarts of ice cream. And then a normal big container of milk is exactly 1 gallon. Um, I challenge you as you go through your lessons this week, when you open up the fridge and get something to drink or eat, please look at the measurements on the bottom of it and figure out how many ounces, cups, pints, quarts, or gallons it is. Let's go through this information with some pictures now to help us realize this. So again, a venti coffee from Starbucks is about 20 fluid ounces. So 20 ounces of liquid is what a venti coffee cup from Starbucks would hold. And again, venti means 20. Here we have a mug of coffee. This coffee mug right here holds 2 cups of liquid. Here we have an ice cream container. Now I call this one the ice cream container that your family can eat out of. So a normal ice cream container right here. And that holds 1.5 quarts. The little ice creams that are usually more expensive, this one right down here, like Ben and Jerry's, that is exactly 1 pint of ice cream. And then over here we have 1 gallon of milk. So hopefully those pictures can help you kind of put a grasp about what these measurements really mean. I like to refer to this symbol here or this picture as a way to help understand how many of each thing is in a gallon or in each other. So I call this the gallon G. I call this the gallon G. So the gallon G, this big outside G here, this is a gallon. And inside the gallon, we have 4 quarts. So we have the 4 Qs. So this is 1 quart, 1 quart, 1 quart, 1 quart. All right, so we have 4 quarts in a gallon. Inside of each quart, we have 2 Ps or 2 pints. So 1 quart holds 2 pints. Then inside of each pint, it's really hard to see. If you get really close in there, inside of each pint, you got 2 cups. So as I draw one out for you here on a new slide, let's go ahead and think about what each thing holds. So we have our gallon G, and this equals 1 gallon. And a gallon is made up of 4 quarts. So four quarts equals 1 gallon. All right. Inside of each quart, we have 2 pints. So therefore, there's 2 pints in 1 quart. And then inside of each pint, we have 2 cups. So there's 2 cups in 1 pint. And then we're not going to be able to fit it in there, but then 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces. 8 fluid ounces. Now you might be thinking, well, this is kind of handy and useful, but it can do more than just this. If you think about it, if we ask the question, how many cups are in a gallon? The gallon G can help us here. Because literally inside of our gallon, we have, I'll try to highlight it for you here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cups. I'll write that in a different color so you actually can see it better. 16 cups. So you can use this to help figure out other information. If I ask you how many cups are in a quart, you could literally count them. There are 4 total cups inside of 1 quart. So it's a very helpful picture. In fact, I draw this on every slide when I do my work. Let's go ahead and practice converting some measurements now. So first off, this one's talking about how many, or 3 cups equals how many fluid ounces. Now again, 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces, and that can't fit on our gallon G, so you just kind of have to know that. But you're welcome to always write down this gallon G and write down that information as well prior to doing any problem and any quiz. So if 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces, that means cups are bigger and fluid ounces are smaller. If we're going from big to small, we have to multiply by the number of ounces that are in a cup. And there are 8 fluid ounces in 1 cup, so we have to multiply by 8. So therefore the answer is 3 times 8 equals 24. So 24 fluid ounces. All right, up next we got quarts to cups. And a quart is bigger, yes, and a cup is smaller. So we have to multiply again. Oops, smaller. There we go. Let's make that look like an S for smaller. And then how many cups are in a quart? Well, if we zoom in on our gallon G, we would see that there are 4 cups in 1 quart. So we have to multiply by 4. So therefore, 4 quarts equals how many total cups? Well, 4 quarts times 4 cups in a quart equals 16 total cups. Hey, that's how many cups in is in a gallon. And yes, there are 4 quarts in a gallon as well. Let's keep working here. Here we're going from pints to quarts. So now we have something smaller going into something bigger. When this happens, we have to divide. And there are 2 pints in 1 quart. So therefore we have to divide by 2. 18 divided by 2 equals 9. So we have 9 quarts. And then finally we have 5 cups equals blank fluid ounces. And again, 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces. So therefore, going from big to small, we have to multiply by 8. And 5 times 8 is 40. Let's talk about this word fluid ounces real quick. Because in our last lessons, we had ounces that measured weight, but this is fluid ounces. So a fluid ounce is the amount of liquid that can fit in a container. So 1 fluid ounce is the amount of liquid, where a ounce, dealing with weight, would be how much it actually weighs. So a fluid ounce, how much it holds, an ounce is how much something weighs. There are 2 different types of measurements. Usually use fluid ounces with liquids, since fluid does mean liquid. All right, and our very last problem on our lesson today. You might notice this one looks a little different because we have gallons and quarts. Now we're not converting 19 quarts to gallons and then converting 19 quarts to quarts. What we're saying is 19 quarts equals so many gallons, and we'll have some quarts left over. So this usually means division, and usually means it's not going to work perfectly. So a quart is smaller, a gallon is bigger. So we're going from small to big, which means we have to divide like we said. Our gallon G shows that 4 quarts equals a gallon. So we take 19 divided by 4. Well, that goes in there 4 times equals 16. We have 3 left over. So this stands for 4 gallons. And this leftover 3 here are our 3 quarts. Sorry, I'm making mistakes here. Are the 3 quarts we have left over. So 4 gallons and 3 quarts left over. Thank you for watching my lesson on converting customary units of capacity. I hope it's helpful for you.